There is that one moment I dread every time I meet someone new. It is not the handshake or the awkward silence, but rather the inevitable question. So, where are you from? I usually take a deep breath. How do I answer this? The short answer is inaccurate. The long answer requires a map. I was born in the snow of Montreal. My dad is from the US. My mom is from Morocco. I spent my first 6 years in the scorching heat of the UAE, and now I call Spain home. So when people ask me where I'm from, they expect a straightforward answer, like a single red pin on the map. But my pin keeps moving, which makes me wonder, does the pin really matter? I'm what sociologists refer to as a third culture kid, or TCK. According to sociologists David Pollock and Ruth Van Recken, a third culture kid is a child who has spent a significant part of the developmental years outside of their parents' culture. The third culture kid builds relationships to all of the cultures while not having full ownership in any. But I am not alone in this. The UN estimates that there are over 31 million young people worldwide living outside of their parents' passport country. That is a population larger than the whole country of Australia. Like them, I do not fully belong to my parents' culture, nor to the culture where I live in. And often, having a home everywhere feels like having a home nowhere. You are labeled different in all of them. You might master the language, but it's hard to master the invisible cultural nuances and pragmatics that true locals understand instinctively. For example, in Spain, I've come to realize that interrupting someone during a conversation is not always a sign of disrespect. It is a sign of interest. It shows that you are engaged with what the other person is saying. In Morocco, my grandmother's insistence that I eat more, even when I'm full, is a sign of love and hospitality. But in the US, ignoring a guest's nose can be considered as pushy, controlling, or even disrespectful. During the last World Cup, I had to make some tough decisions. I spent the tournament rotating through football jerseys for the US, Spain, and Morocco. As my mom cheered for her country, my dad for his, and my brother for the country we live in now, I sat in the middle. A human map of three continents. I realized that I was being pulled into three directions at the same time. I didn't know it yet, but I was experiencing the chaotic and exhausting life lived in between. As a TCK, you are constantly navigating nuances. Mastering these nuances takes time. You could spend weeks, months, and sometimes even years trying to decode social cues and adapt in order to feel like you belong. But there's an irony to this adaptation: having to say goodbye. For us third culture kids, the calendar looks different. June is not just the end of the school year, but it is also an expiration date on relationships. This is the brutal nature of the TCK experience, especially in international schools, when you constantly feel like you have to say goodbye. I've seen local kids consciously choosing their friends based off of their permanence. It is a defense mechanism to opt out of the grief cycle. And while avoiding the levers might save you from the pain of goodbye, it also denies you of the opportunity of the TCK experience. Because embracing these transient friendships teaches you resilience. You learn how to connect deeply and quickly. You learn that a relationship does not have to last forever for it to be genuine. And most importantly, that the vulnerability it takes to be friends with someone who's leaving is exactly what makes you a citizen of this world. As a TCK, you have no choice but to build a third space, a mental territory unique to you. Psychologists call this cognitive flexibility, which refers to the ability to be able to switch between cultural frameworks instantly. It allows you to hold multiple and often contradictory truths simultaneously. This flexibility changes how you interact with the world, even in small ways, such as buying a football jersey in the Rabat, Medina. In Spain, if I walk into a store and I see the price tag, the price is the price. Negotiating it is disrespectful to the cashier and embarrassing for me. But in the US, in Morocco, the price tag is just the opening line of the conversation. Refusing to negotiate it is refusing to engage in important social interaction. You also see this clash at school. In the American system, we are taught the feedback sandwich. If you want to give feedback that is not so positive, first you say something nice, then you deliver the bad news, then you say something good again. We know that our American teachers will often soften their criticism to protect our confidence. But our Spanish teachers who care just as much about our learning will just tell us the truth directly. As a TCK, you become a translator of intent, not just language. And it goes deeper than that. As a new kid, you often lose the privilege of thinking your way is the right way. You understand that being different is just a matter of perspective. Eating with a fork is just as normal as eating with your hands. This removes judgment. Instead of saying, this is weird, you pause and ask yourself, what story or context am I missing? This pause, reserving judgment, is the true definition of empathy. It forces us to understand that our behaviors are not random. They are the product of adapting to every environment where we have lived. I understand that geography shapes us, but we spend too much time asking where people are from, and not enough time asking what they are made of. Think of works of art, for example. You do not judge a painting based on the gallery where it is displayed. You judge it based off of the brushstrokes on the canvas. Humans are not statues just fixed in one place. We are like rivers, constantly moving, picking up sediments along the way. My identity is not a list of places where I've sheltered. It is the accumulation of every person that I've met, every food that I've tasted, and every perspective that has challenged mine. And here is the secret. You do not have to move countries to think like this. Even if you have lived in the same city your whole life, you probably have changed too. You are not the same person you were 3 or 5 years ago. We are all in motion. We just have to be willing to leave our mental comfort zone. The third culture is a mindset, not a mere collection of red pins on the map. Indeed, being a third culture kid does not just mean collecting red stamps on your passport. It means collecting perspectives, and you could do that from wherever you are. You don't have to cross an ocean. Sometimes you just have to cross the street. So the next time you disagree with someone about sports or politics or religion or anything really, stop, pause, and ask yourself, what story or context am I missing? And the next time you meet someone new, I challenge you to skip the geography lesson. Don't ask, where are you from? Ask, where are you going? What are you made of? Or what do you carry with you? So I may have been born in Montreal, and I may now live in Spain. But if someone asks me where I'm from, I will tell them. I'm from my experiences, and I will go wherever my character takes me next. Thank you.